motif of Living Single and you watching the National League playoffs on Fox. Living Single will return after the World Series is over. But right now, it's game time.
Everyone knows what glitters is gold. And tonight, they try for that stairway to heaven in a game number 7. It's the NLCS on Fox. Last night, the Redbirds tried a series soar, but Mad Dog Maddox said, first, baby, you gotta score. And 3-1 means we play one more. Cardman Donovan says this is the season of the switch. St. Louis says their time has come. And Tommy G just loves having that brave boy bubbly. Tonight, both teams in the NL vie for baseball's ultimate honor. It's St. Louis and Atlanta in Game 7 of the National League Championship Series on Fox.
In last night's Game 6, the Braves received a boost from some unlikely hitting heroes as Atlanta tied the NLCS at 3. In 1992, it was the same story as that man, Francisco Cabrera, delivered until the Braves World Series win, one of the greatest moments in Atlanta Braves history. This line drive base hit into left field scored Sid Bream in the 1992 NLCS. The Braves won their second pennant and, of course, went on to the World Series. And Francisco Cabrera is on hand to throw out the first pitch here in Game 7 of the NLCS, with the World Series berth on the line for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves here in Fulton County Stadium. And hello again, everybody. I'm Chip Carey, along with Dave Winfield and Steve Lyons. Welcome to Fox Sports coverage of Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. For baseball fans, friends, this is must-see TV. It all comes down to one game. The winner of tonight's ball game advances to the 1996 World Series to take on the New York Yankees. It has been a fantastic series to this point.
Yes, it has. There's a lot of emotion here tonight, but these teams don't show it because they're both very composed. But I can tell you, when they went to bed last night, I think Atlanta had the more restful sleep because they've just won 2 games. They're scoring, and St. Louis is struggling a little now.
You talk about the impact of this ball game, Game 7. The winner gets to play in the World Series. The loser goes home. It doesn't seem that fair, but I'll tell you what, both teams are cool. I had a chance to sit down earlier today with Game 7 starter Tommy Glavine, and I also talked to Ron Gant. And when I spoke to Gant, I asked him, is there any team in this country that you'd rather beat than these Atlanta Braves?
I doubt it. But, you know, yeah, you're right. I really want to win really bad. You know, yeah, I'm playing my former mates, but, you know, it's a situation that no matter who was out there, I want to win, and I want to win bad. It just happens to be Atlanta, and it makes it a little extra. It gives me a little extra boost and makes me concentrate a little more.
I think the one thing that this club has always done well is responded to having its back against the wall, and that's because we don't panic, because we don't get caught up in the moment and realize that, hey, you know, we go out there tomorrow and win that ball game, we can change things a little bit, and that's the approach we've had. Is I know people hate hearing it, but you got to take it a game at a time, and the only way we had a chance to win this thing was to get into this position we're in now, so now we have to see what happens.
Oh, you got to love those baseball cliches this time of year, guys. The Cardinals' middle of the order has been very productive when they've won. Not so bad in the losses, although Ron Gant, the big hitting hero in Game 3 against Tom Glavine with the 2 home runs, just 1 for 10 since that point in the series. And guys, the Cardinals really need Ron Gant to try to exact that revenge if they're to knock off the Braves tonight.
Hey, Chip, this is the beauty of baseball, though. Tom Glavine is a smart guy. He knows what happened to him last time he faced Ron Gant. Ron Gant is not going to be able to be the hero tonight. Tom Glavine will pitch around him if and when he can. The rest of the guys in the middle of the lineup are going to have to step up to get it done.
Well, it doesn't surprise me all that much that the middle of the order hasn't been all that productive, because in these series, you always look for a bit player to jump up and bite you. You know, for the Braves, it's always been Mark Lemke. Has average seasons during the year, and then in the playoffs, he becomes Little October, not Mr. October, but he does it for those Braves.
How about the Cardinals? Dimitri Young, the youngster, gets his first postseason start for John Mabry. Tony La Russa playing a hunch. He thinks this kid could knock a ball in the gap, and that could be the difference.
Well, Dimitri might be the man, but it's going to have to be, again, the other guys have to step up and do the job.
And these guys are both so calm and cool right now. We had a chance to walk through both clubhouses. The Cardinals were actually watching a tape of Caddyshack, and Donovan Osborne was working on his swing. So no problems there. They're ready to go.
So it's Game 7. You don't have to say much more than that. Donovan Osborne pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals, going for his second win of the postseason. His pitching opponent tonight, Tom Glavine, who won Game 6 of the World Series last year for the Braves. It's the Cardinals and Atlanta. The World Series berth on the line. Our trio of Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, and Bob Brenly will have the game for you next. It is the Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves in game number 7 of the 1996 NLCS. Who goes on? Who goes home? We're about to find out. And hello, everybody. My name is Joe Buck. Happy to have you with us for game number 7 with my partners, Bob Brenly and Tim McCarver. Well, Tim McCarver, last night, Tony La Russa ends up going with the rookie Alan Bennis. He pitched very well. The bad news was he was hooked up with Greg Maddux. So tonight, he has a very rested Donovan Osborne on the mound.
Yeah, Donovan Osborne physically rested tonight and emotionally stable in Game 3. It's 7 strong innings for Tony La Russa, being the winner against the Atlanta Braves. And that's exactly what Tony La Russa will look for tonight. He'll take that in a minute. What are the early keys? To keep his emotions under control in the first and second inning. He does have a tendency to get wild early. The curveball, the key pitch for him. And a big thing right here, he ought to pitch to his catcher and not the batter. When a young pitcher is intimidated in games like this, and certainly this is an intimidating situation, he has a tendency to pitch to the batter and to throw the ball to the strike zone. And when he pitches to the catcher, he throws the ball through the strike zone. And that's a big distinction.
Only the second LCS start for Donovan Osborne. However, number 8 in the young career for Tommy Glavine. Talk to Bob Brenly in a moment. Right now, here are Tom Glavine's thoughts on pitching in Game 7.
And obviously, we want to go out there and win it and have an opportunity to defend our world championship. But if we don't, it's certainly not the end of the world. And I think that, that kind of attitude has kind of helped me over the years, not to go out there and put so much pressure on yourself that it makes it hard to perform.
Very gracious of Tom Glavine to talk to us on the day he's going to pitch. How relaxed is this guy? The Cardinals may be in for a long night.
Well, the Cardinals hitters would be well advised to heed the words of the song Dixie. Look away, look away, look away. Because Tom Glavine is going to live on that outside corner. And that brings us to his first key for success in the ball game tonight. Never give in to the strike zone. He's going to try to get the Cardinals hitters to chase bad pitches out of the zone, which is especially going to be a factor with Paul Runge behind the plate, who calls a very wide strike zone. And the second key for his success is to stay stubborn. Stay off the corners, stay out of the fat part of the plate.
Here we go, game number 7. The two left-handers hook up. Who's going to the World Series? Who's going home? We're about to find out. It comes up next from your local Fox station. It all comes down to this in the 1996 National League Championship Series. Here we go, Game 7. Cardinals had a 3-1 lead. It's now tied 3 games apiece. Cardinal lineup starts with Clayton and McGee. Ron Gant against Glavine hit 2 home runs in game number 3. Then it's Brian Jordan cleaning up in center field. Gary Gaetti at third base. Dimitri Young making his first postseason start. He's a rookie, only 23 years old. And Tom Pagnozzi catching. Mike Gallego in the lineup again tonight, playing second base, batting 8th, pitching and batting 9th. The young Donovan Osborne. The Braves defense, Mark Lemke, you can highlight him on the defense if you want. You can highlight him on the offensive side if you want. He is playing behind the left-handed starter, Tom Glavine. This is a rematch of game number 3 of this series, a game in which the Cardinals won 3-2.
And both pitchers pitched very well in Game 3. Tom Glavine made very few mistakes in that ball game, but unfortunately for him, the mistakes that he made ended up in the bleachers. Ronnie Gant took advantage of a couple of hangers over the middle of the plate and rode him right out of the ballpark.
And both pitchers, Bob, are completely different as far as their makeup is concerned. Tom Glavine as cool as the other side of the pillow. Wonder if he sweats at times when he pitches. Donovan Osborne, very excitable. And we mentioned in the opening, Tony La Russa will be keeping an eye on him. But you can see it in their facial expressions, the difference in their emotional makeups.
Really goes back to how these two teams approach games as a whole. Donovan Osborne are very representative of the way the Cardinals play, filled with emotion. Tom Glavine, calm, cool, collected. You never know this was game 7. Here we go. Royce Clayton leads it off. Ball 1. And already Royce Royce Clayton wants the home plate umpire, Paul Runge, in his 23rd season, to check the baseball. He's behind home plate. We've already talked about his strike zone, which tends to go wide. Mark Hirschbeck at first, Bob Davidson at second, Joe West at third, with Crawford down the left field foul line, and Eddie Montague, who worked the plate so well here last night, down the right field line. 2-0.
What Glavine will try to do early in the ball game is try to feel out that strike zone, try to see how far Paul Runge will go out on the corners. And as soon as he establishes that limit, that's where he's going to try to work consistently all night.
Clayton swinging on 2-0, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, it's no secret we're not breaking any ground here talking about Paul Runge's strike zone. It's been pretty much the same for 23 years. The hitters for both teams know it. The pitchers for both teams know it.
He learned it from his dad, Ed Runge, who was an American League umpire.
2-1 on Clayton. Now 2-2. Royce Clayton has had a hit in every start he has made in this series. Making his 5th start, Ozzie Smith had 2 starts. The 2 games that John Smoltz was on the mound for Atlanta. Full count on Clayton.
Remember in Game 3, it was the Cardinals' plan to take a lot of pitches against Tommy Glavine. When you do that, you take that outside part of the plate, or the pitch just off the plate, away from Glavine.
Into right field, Jermaine Dye is there, 1 away. So Clayton, who has consistently pounded the ball the other way in this series, goes to right. He's the first out here in the first inning. The batter is McGee, who last night had a couple of hits against a very tough Greg Maddux.
Saw Greg Maddux last night, a master at first pitch strikes. Tom Glavine does not believe in that. He throws a lot of first pitch balls, pitches behind in the count often.
1-1.
And because of Glavine's exceptional control and the fact, as we mentioned, he likes to work that outside corner, it enables Marquise Grissom to cheat way over into right center field. Jermaine Dye hugging the line in right.
1 out, nobody on. 2 balls and a strike on McGee. It's hard to believe that Tom Glavine, in 7 NLCS starts before tonight, had a combined record of 1-5, which includes the loss in Game 3 in St. Louis. 3-1 on McGee.
3-2 count, now a 3-1 count. And on a 3-1 count, it was Ron Gant's homer in the first inning in Game 3.
Full count. So a full count on Clayton leading off, and now a full count on McGee with Ron Gant up next.
Well, it's pretty obvious, at least from the first 2 hitters, that is what you said, Tim. The Cardinals are going to try to work deep in the count because we've seen Willie McGee swing at the first pitch almost every at bat in this series.
Do it again. Tony La Russa believes that tonight is his team's best chance to win in the last 3 games, with Smoltz in the final game, Game 5 in St. Louis. Last night, Maddux was unbeatable. Didn't matter what lineup he was facing. Tonight, he thinks is the Cardinals' best chance. Down the right field line for Dye. That'll get out of play. You think about La Russa and his approach pitching Alan Bennis last night. Granted, Alan Bennis got the loss, but even had Osborne pitched last night, can't imagine him doing much better than Alan Bennis did. And now you've got Osborne rested for Game 7. Again, the full count pitch to McGee. Swinging bunt, foul.
Well, considering that Andy Bennis was not nearly effective pitching on 3 days rest, Todd Stottlemyre was nowhere close to being effective pitching on 3 days rest. I think that pretty much helped Tony La Russa make the decision to go with Alan Bennis last night and a well-rested Donovan Osborne tonight. There you see the Bennis brothers.
Allen went 5 innings last night, allowed 2 runs on only 3 hits. 3-2 to McGee. 2 out. That'll bring in Ron Gant in game 3. He went deep twice off Tom Glavine. His thoughts?
According to how Glavine pitches, he's not going to change his game plan at all. I mean, he's going to live outside on that outside corner of the plate, and he's going to make the hitters hit his pitch. So I'm going to have to stay out there. I'm going to have to do the same things I did there, and if he makes that mistake again, I'll be ready for it. But if not, we're going to have some tough at-bats up there.
His first at-bat of the night. 2 out, nobody on. First inning. Ball 1. Pitch 1 has been ball 1 to each of the first 3 hitters. Is that what you call staying stubborn?
Staying stubborn.
Now 2-0.
That's why Bob said that line from Dixie, look away, look away, look away, right now.
Well, that's about the easiest scouting report you could give to a team trying to face Tom Glavine and have any success offensively.
3-0. Ryan Jordan waiting on deck. Glavine has not been close for the first 3 to Gant. To the left side, Chipper Jones. A good first inning for Glavine. Cardinals go in order. Bottom of inning number 1, game 7 here in Atlanta. No score. Bottom of the first inning, no score. The Cardinals went in order in their half of the first. Now the Braves, they lead it off with Marquise Grissom in center. Then Mark Lemke, Chipper Jones, Fred McGriff, Javi Lopez. What a series he has had. 11 hits, only 2 off the LCS record. Then Jermaine Dye in right field. Andrew Jones, the 19-year-old, makes the start in left. Jeff Blauser at short, batting 8th, and Tommy Glavine pitching and batting 9th. The Cardinal defense, Dimitri Young, his first career postseason start. He's a rookie, only 23 years old, just turned 23. And on the mound is the winner from game 3, Donovan Osborne.
And you can see the emotion right there. Totally opposite from Tom Glavine, his record for the season. And remember, the curveball, a vital pitch to get over early, and his fastball's in the strike zone until he can settle himself down.
In game 3, he gave up a leadoff single to Grissom and then threw a wild pitch with that curveball in the first inning to advance him.
Here is Grissom, and there's a leadoff hit.
This is one thing a team can do if you have a pitcher on the mound who tends to get excitable early in the game. Come after him aggressively. Grissom swinging at the first pitch, a ball up in the strike zone. Once again, goes right back up the middle with it.
Wonder if Bobby Cox will bunt and play for 1 run with Glavine on the mound.
We'll find out right here. Here's Lemke. Gonna swing. Down the line. Grissom heads for third. They hold Grissom at third on a double, and at second and third, nobody out.
I guess that answers that question, huh, Bobby? No fun. High fastball late over the diving Gaetti. And with nobody out, Jimmy Williams shrewdly holding Grissom at third base.
He's got the meat of his order coming up. Doesn't want to make that first out at home plate with Chipper Jones, Fred McGriff, and Javi Lopez to follow. Good job by Tom Pagnozzi and Royce Clayton right here. Try to slow this down a little bit. Let Osborne catch his breath, regroup a little bit. Once that snowball starts going downhill, somebody's got to stop it or it just won't stop. I mean,
that's a big stop sign right there. It's interesting, the approach by the Cardinals. three-ball counts by Glavin, and 2 pitches, nobody out second, third for the Braves.
The 3rd game in a row, Grissom has gone up there hacking at the first pitch. A single, a double at second and third, nobody out for Chipper Jones. Showing bunt, but you can't believe he's going to lay one down. Strike 1.
You can see Bobby Cox saying swing.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Cox is surprised as anybody. He has no idea what Chipper Jones is trying to do.
To third, Gaetti holds Grissom, 1 out. Good play by Gary Gaetti, 4-time Gold Glove winner or Gold Glove Award winner in the American League. He made the dive, he looked at Grissom, he got the out, 1 away.
Gaetti playing even with the grass there in the event that Jones does decide to bunt. A lot of times at third base you don't really have time to do much else but take a step and a dive, and that's what Gaetti does right here.
That could be a huge play with the struggling Fred McGriff up now.
McGriff only 4 hits in this series. To the shortstop, Grissom is not breaking. Now he comes home to put the Braves on top. They have Lemke caught in the rundown, 2 out, and Atlanta out in front, 1-0.
This is about as tacky a way to get a run as you can imagine. Bad base running by both Grissom and Lemke. Grissom's got to be coming all the way, a ball to the middle infield as you go, and Mark Lemke caught off second. Grissom should break immediately. Lemke should stay. The ball should be 6-3. You still have a guy in scoring position.
So the Braves take a lead. Now a runner at first, 2 out for Javi Lopez. And a strike over the inside corner. Interesting that when Royce Clayton made his throw, he threw to third. They had Grissom caught between third and home. If he throws home, I don't believe a run scores. Grissom was at a dead standstill between third and home. 1 on, 2 out. That gets away from Pagnozzi, not far enough, and it's a 1-1 count.
I think you're right, Joe. I think if Clayton throws home, they get him immediately. But if Gaetti throws home, it's too late because by that time Grissom had taken off.
Scored a fielder's choice, 6-5, 6-5. To put the Braves on top. Now Lopez ahead of the count, 2-1. Good fastball, 2-2.
You can see that fastball had a lot of run on it. Tom Pagnozzi from his target on the outside corner had to track that ball across the center of the plate. Pagnozzi set up outside. This fastball cuts back inside. Very awkward catch of that ball.
2-2 on Lopez. If Donovan Osborne and the Cardinals can get out of this inning with only 1 run crossing the plate, they ought to sprint off the field.
Absolutely.
One on, 2 out. McGriff will go. We'll do it again. Mentioned during the lineup, Javi Lopez, 11 hits. The LCS record is 13 hits by Will Clark. Did it back in 1989, but in only 5 games. 1996 postseason. Javi Lopez has now overtaken Bernie Williams and has the best average going. McGriff at first, 2 out, he'll go. 4. And it's 2 on, 2 out for Jermaine Dye.
Well, we've seen Donovan Osborne walking Javier Lopez. He missed with the curveball to Lopez. Those were the two things, wildness early and getting his curveball over. Very, very important for Osborne.
Our Fox box, top left-hand corner of your screen. Runners on at first and second, 2 out. Braves out in front by a run. 22-year-old Jermaine Dye, line drive, base hit, left field. Here's McGriff. Gant's throw, no good. 2-0 Atlanta.
We saw Jimmy Williams throw up the stop sign with Marquise Grissom with nobody out, but with 2 outs in the inning, much more aggressive on the part of the third base coach. He's waving Fred McGriff home before he even got to third base.
The throw was strong enough, but wrong windage. 3 first ball hits in this inning. So the Atlanta Braves taking a totally different approach than the Cardinals. They're going up there hacking.
They're out in front 2-0. So Osborne and the Cardinals will not get out of this first inning with only 1 run crossing the plate. The entire infield, along with Dave Duncan, meeting on the mound. It's first and third, 2 out. With 19-year-old Andrew Jones coming up.
I think when you see all the infielders out there with runners on at first and third, what they're trying to determine is what they do if the runner at first, Jermaine Dye, tries to steal second base. I don't think he'll try to do it unless the count's 0-2, 1-2 to Andrew Jones.
Jones trying to make it a bigger first inning for the Braves. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Pretty close. Check on Dye. With Andrew Jones at the plate, you are looking at the definition of confidence by a manager in a very young player. He does not mind at all throwing 19-year-old Andrew Jones into Game 7. 1-0.
Bobby Cox telling us before the game that he may hit a home run tonight. He said the batting practices that Andrew Jones has been taking, he's been hitting balls way up in the upper deck.
And it's been a long first inning for Osborne.
Of all the great players that have come through this Braves organization in the last few years with Chipper Jones and Klesko and Lopez, this is the guy that Bobby Cox says has the best chance to be a great player, a 5-tool player.
2-0 the count. Base hit. 3-0 Atlanta.
Again, a high fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. A predictable pitch laced to left field.
So Andrew Jones gets his first postseason hit. Add to it his first RBI. Now ball 1 in the dirt. Magnazzi saves a wild pitch as Blauser digs in.
First 7 Braves hitters tonight, 5 balls have been hit right on the button. Even the good play by Gaetti hit by Chipper Jones.
Andy Bennis getting ready for St. Louis. The one high pitch after another out of the hand of Donovan Osborne is getting hammered here in the first inning. Blauser out in front of a changeup. Strike 1. been a 3-run, 4-hit inning for the Braves. That'll load him up.
Bob, that looked like that running fastball that you were talking about a couple of hitters ago.
Starts the pitch on the inside part of the plate, runs back in. Looked like it caught Blauser right on the left knee. Blauser was hit by a pitch in last night's ball game.
That will load the bases for one of the game's best hitting pitchers, Tom Glavine. He's up there hacking. Strike one. See Osborne trying to guide the ball to the plate. It's 1-1. Osborne struggling to get these pitches down.
Hasn't had any command of his breaking ball whatsoever here in the first inning.
2-1.
The only low pitches that he has thrown the whole inning have been balls in the dirt.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Into left field. Can't get it. That will empty the bases. Glavine heads for third. 6-0 Atlanta.
Another high fastball from Osborne. Gant makes a valiant effort, realizing that if he misses this ball, it's going to be a 6-0 game at least.
With that swing of the bat by Tom Glavine, it will be the end of the night for Donovan Osborne. He could not get through the first. 6 runs, 5 hits, and a pitching change here in the first inning. Not what Donovan dreamed about last night. He's gone in the first. Braves up by 6. What a first inning for Atlanta. Donovan Osborne goes 2/3 of an inning, allowing 6 runs on 5 hits. Now a runner at third, 2 out for Grissom. To the right side, Dimitri Young will watch it head out of play for strike one from Andy Bennis. Andy made 1 relief appearance in 1996. Picked up a save against Colorado. 18-10 during the regular season. And was the starter in game 1. A loss here in Atlanta.
Well, this is the most thankless job on a pitching staff. Come in when your team is getting blown out in the first inning and try to stop the bleeding and put up some zeros until your offense can get on track.
Bennis made a start in game 1. Made a start in game 4 on 3 days rest. Lasted only 5 innings. Here he is in game 7. Runner at third, 2 out. Had him reaching. Inning over. A 6-run first inning for Atlanta. They're trying to get back to the World Series. They hand it over to Glavine out in front by 6. Well, Well, there it is. After 1 inning in Game 7, the Braves out in front 6-0. They change shortstops. Rafael Belliard takes over for Blauser, who is hit on that front knee, the left knee, between innings. Ozzie Smith trying to pump up Donovan Osborne, and he can't feel anything but sorry for Donovan Osborne, who comes into tonight's game. You can see him talking to himself. Had, I'm sure, all kinds of visions of a wonderful start here tonight, and that just didn't happen. Ryan Jordan swinging at the first pitch, pops it up. 1 out. So Jordan didn't hang around long. He pops it foul to the first baseman McGriff. And he's the first out here in the second.
Well, it's important for the Cardinals, even though they're behind 6-0, to not get away from their game plan. What we talked about in the first inning. Try to work Glavine deep in the count. He makes very few mistakes, but the deeper in the count he goes, the better chance you have of getting a good ball to hit.
Here's Gaetti. 7 out of 21 in this series. And he looks at a ball outside. During the regular season, Gaetti hit .274 with 23 home runs. That is well hit into center, sending Grissom back. 2 out.
Sounded like a broken bat there by Gary Gaetti, trying to hit that fastball out away from him. Appeared he hit it right off the end of the bat. We've seen a lot of broken bats in this NLCS. That will happen when you have the kind of pitching staffs we've seen here.
Gaetti the second out. Here's Dimitri Young, and he takes a strike as Lopez, the catcher, pulls it back into the strike zone.
Glavine missing with that outside corner in the first inning. He has got that laying down now, however.
Dimitri Young, a .333 hitter at AAA this year. There's another perfect pitch. And it's 0-2.
Well, you can't hit it, but you can't take it.
Perfect if you're Glavine. A couple inches outside with strike 2. Dimitri Young has been a big part of this series. Ray Langford in the jacket has not. Does not have a hit in this NLCS, bothered by the rotator cuff in his left shoulder. Good swing by Young. Stays alive, 1-2.
Well, we talked about Glavine earlier. Never gives into the strike zone. He knows when to use his good fastball. That last point right there. He doesn't do it a lot, but he can throw that fastball 91, 92 miles an hour inside the righties. There's one right there.
And a 2-2 count on Dimitri Young.
First time he's intentionally come in on a right-hander all night. Every pitch is not designed to get a hitter out. Some pitches are designed to set up the next one.
Like that. Inning over. Fastball inside. Changeup low and away. I think that formula works for Tom Glavine. 6-0 Atlanta.
Has the models this year looking so happy? Is it the new fall look? Insiders say no. Blame those smiling faces on Dave Thomas, Wendy's founder, and his new grilled chicken sandwich. It's absolutely smashing. Bigger, plumper, and juicier than ever. With this all-white meat filet, the girls have found a delicious chicken sandwich they can enjoy today. And still fit into that size 6 tomorrow. Dave, what's new for spring?
Well, short sleeves are always nice.
Fabulous.
Try Wendy's new plumper, juicier grilled chicken sandwich.
Fox Sports coverage of Major League Baseball's National League Championship Series is brought to you by Buick LeSabre for safety and peace of mind. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Wendy's and the new bigger, plumper grilled chicken breast filet sandwich. Try one today. And by AT&T, your true choice.
Beautiful night in Atlanta. Views from the Kroger blimp, Spirit of Atlanta, helping us out again here tonight. 6-0 Braves in the bottom of the second inning. It will be Lemke, Chipper Jones, and Fred McGriff. First full inning of work for Andy Bennis. Ball 1 to Lemke. Boy, this guy been doing it from the get-go here. I mean, when they pulled the curtain up on the NLCS, Mark Lemke was ready. Has 11 hits, 24 at-bats, a first inning double. But if you went back through the series and picked out Lemke's hits, they would predominantly be on pitches up. And when Donovan Osborne missed up back in the first inning, Lemke doubled down the left field line. Two balls and a strike. Into center for Jordan. 1 out.
This is why Bob Brenly says in Dixie, you should look away, away, away. Right here, look at the remarkable efficiency of Glavine. Clayton, away. McGee, away. Gant, 3-0, away. Jordan, away. Gaetti, high and away. Away back to Young.
Now Bennis goes away for strike 1 on Chipper Jones. Chipper grounded out in that first inning. The first inning started very strangely for Atlanta. They get a leadoff hit, then a double. At second and third, nobody out. Chipper Jones showed bunt on the first pitch. Then grounded to third, a diving play by Gaetti for the first out. Then McGriff grounds to short. The Cardinals had Grissom hung up between third and home, but Clayton threw to third. Grissom scored. And after that, it was a walk, a single, a hit batsman, and a 3-run triple by Tom Glavine. 2-2 to Jones. Base hit.
Chipper Jones is a very good hitter on pitches down, and he got a slider over the heart of the plate and down low around the knees, where you can just drop that head of the bat on the ball, shoot it through the right side of the infield. The swing is much quicker on a pitch that's down low in the strike zone than it is on a pitch that's up above the belt.
1 on, 1 out for McGriff. Into left field. 2 out in the inning.
Yeah, if guys didn't like balls down and in, they'd make tees higher.
McGriff has got to become a bit of a concern for the Atlanta Braves if they head into postseason against the Yankees. We're a long way from that. We're only in the second inning here in Game 7. But McGriff, 4 hits in this LCS. That's it. 1 home run, which came in that blowout 14-0 in St. Louis. 1 on, 2 out, and a check on Chipper Jones. Javier Lopez at the plate. A walk and a run scored back in the first. I understand Jeff Blauser was hit in the patella tendon in his left knee. And for precautionary reasons, the Braves took him out in the top of this second. One on, 2 out for Atlanta here in the second with Lopez looking at ball 1.
You can really see the contrasting styles. The Cardinals pitchers mostly working inside, while Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, the Braves pitchers working mostly outside.
Good pitch, 1-1. What a year it's been for Andy Bennis. His first year in a Cardinal uniform, started this season 1-7, ended the regular season 18-10. He's a veteran of many years in the big leagues, but you could say Andy Bennis grew up a lot during 1996. To the left side for Clayton. The force to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left after 6-0 Braves. Back to Fulton County after this from your local station. You have to wonder what the thought process is there, don't you?
I think that's supposed to be in an opera somewhere. Ooh.
Ooh. Very creative fans here at Fulton County Stadium. The Braves are trying to extend the life of this ballpark. 31st and final year of baseball in Fulton County Stadium. For next year, moving across the street. Pagnazzi caught by Lemke. A line drive off the bat of Pagnazzi, who has only 2 hits in this series. His frustration continues.
Good approach by Tom Pagnazzi. Take that outside pitch the other way, but better defense by Mark Lemke.
One out, nobody on, and the batter is Gallego. Only 1 hit in the postseason for Gallego. Took a fastball strike. His first year in the National League. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallego's only hit was a big hit in Game 2 off Maddox, which started the game-winning rally for St. Louis. Braves trying to become the first team in NLCS history to be down 3-1 in a best-of-7 series, come back and win it.
And the 8th team in postseason history, including World Series play, to come back and win it.
Maddox, the starter and winner here last night. Still 1-2 on Gallego. Cardinal offense has not been getting it done for St. Louis, especially lately. And as you combine the averages, as a team, the Cardinals hitting only .212 in this NLCS. Down the right field line, trouble if it's fair. It is just foul.
This Braves pitching staff can make your offense look anemic. We saw Maddox on top of his game last night. John Smoltz has been on top of his game, and so far Tom Glavine is doing what he needs to do to be successful. As you see that foul ball, just a few inches foul.
Talking about down 3-1. Cardinals have lost 2 best-of-7 series. After leading 3-1 in '68, the World Series to Detroit, and in '85, the World Series to Kansas City. Trying to mount a rally here in the 3rd. Down by 6. Gallego pops it up. Grissom in center. 2 out.
Well, there you see Maddox, last night's starter, with his sneakers on. John Smoltz, however, has his cleats on. Bobby Cox told us that he would not hesitate to use John Smoltz for an inning tonight if necessary. However, Greg Maddox has much more comfortable puppies right now.
Here's Bennis.
And the way this is going for Bobby Cox, you don't know the Cardinals still have 19 outs with which to work. But the way it's going for Bobby Cox, if Smoltz doesn't get in this game, he'll be the starter against the Yankees on Saturday night.
2 out, nobody on. 0-2 the count on Andy Bennis. Glavine has been perfect through 3. And to his record, a 3-run triple. 2.5 innings, Braves by 6. 6-0 Atlanta, bottom of the 3rd inning. Working with us for this final NLCS game is Kroger's airship, the Spirit of Atlanta. Tonight is officially the final broadcast for the Spirit of Atlanta. Departing the skies later this week. And we want to thank Kroger and the Spirit of Atlanta for all their help, helping us cover these games here at Fulton County Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jermaine Dye. His RBI single kept that first inning alive. He later scored a run. Venice throwing very well, trying to keep it 6-0. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alan Venice pitching so well here last night. Now it's bigger brother Andy. 2-2.
Andy throws that hard, sinking, heavy fastball as well as a real sharp slider. It's important you don't lose sight of all your pitches as well. A lot of times you get a blowout game like this early and you forget what you have to do to be successful.
Outside corner according to Paul Runge. And 1 out, the first strikeout for a St. Louis pitcher. It lives beneath the city streets. It only comes out at night. No one believes such a creature could exist until now. Don't miss an all-new X-Files tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, right here on Fox.
As far as the St. Louis Cardinals are concerned, the Atlanta Braves have been that creature that lived beneath the street. It has been a nightmare for the last 2+ games for the Cardinals, who have been outscored 23-1 since they won that emotional game 4.
1 out, nobody on. 2-0. The St. Louis Cardinals in 1996 had arguably as good a season as anybody in Major League Baseball. When you consider everything that's gone on in St. Louis, starts with new ownership, starts with Tony La Russa in his first year in the National League, getting his team to the National League Championship Series. Amazing. 3-0 to count, now 3-1 on Andrew Jones. Jones an RBI single, his first postseason hit. To the right side for Gallego. 2 out. You know, you hear so much about manager of the year, especially in the National League. We've done games talking about Bruce Bochy, the job he did this year in San Diego, which was phenomenal. Rarely do you hear the name of Tony La Russa. But man, can you make a strong argument that La Russa, in his first year in the National League, getting this team to turn it around and play this well, this many new parts, he definitely ought to be considered for manager of the year.
Particularly since he was learning a new league, and he was very honest and open about that when he first came over to the Cardinals. He was being questioned repeatedly about, did he think it would be harder to manage in the National League with no DH, and he says it's not brain surgery. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually, and he certainly figured it out.
Yeah, not only a new team, but a new style of play too.
This is Belliard, his first at bat. A 1 ball, 2 strike count. And the other dugout is the guy who gets overlooked for what he does with Atlanta, Bobby Cox. Do not underestimate what he does for this Atlanta Braves team. Belliard is 2 for his last 2. An RBI hit here last night, and he's on with 2 out in the 3rd. That'll bring in Tom Glavine, who won his 3rd Silver Slugger Award this year by hitting .289, tops among pitchers. And in the first inning, even though Andrew Jones fell flat on his face, a 2-out, 3-run triple, which took it from a 3-0 game to a 6-0 game. Strike 1 from Venice. A 2-out hit by Belliard. Glavine can't complain with that call. They count 0-2.
A pitcher should never argue on a borderline pitch that's called a strike, because I'm sure he's going to want that same pitch, and he's been getting that same pitch. the Atlanta Braves pitchers, the entire staff, Smoltz and Maddox and Denny Nagel and Glavine, they all do everything it takes to win ball games. They swing the bat, they bunt, they field their positions well, and they can throw that ball.
So Glavine already has 3 RBIs. The only pitchers to have more than 3 RBIs in an LCS game. Steve Carlton did it with 4 in Game 3 in 1978. Phil's in Los Angeles, and Mike Cuellar hit a grand slam in 1970.
You saw John Smoltz yawning there. I bet when John Smoltz got up this morning, he didn't think he'd be yawning in the 3rd inning of tonight's game. Talking to Jeff Porter, the assistant trainer.
2-2 on Glavine. Smoltz started Game 5 on Monday night. Went 7 innings, allowing no runs on 7 hits. 1 on, 2 out. Glavine strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning for Andy Bennis. We are through 3. Game 7. Atlanta behind, Glavine out in front by 6. Top of the order coming up for St. Louis as they try to jump back into this game, trailing 6-0 into the 4th inning. Here in Atlanta, Game 7. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without express written consent. 4th inning, here's the opportunity for the Cardinals, if they're going to make a game of it, to get it done. Clayton, McGee, and Gant. If anybody gets on, Brian Jordan against Tom Glavine, who has been perfect through 3. Strike 1. Clayton ran the count full back in the 1st inning, then lined to right. So 0 for 1, but hitting .353 in this NLCS. Royce Clayton will take over full time in 1997 at short for the Cardinals. Another one into right. This one falls in front of Dye, and the Cardinals have their first base runner. Clayton has had a very strong NLCS.
He's had a very good approach at the plate in almost every at-bat he's had. Made up his mind he's going to hit the ball to the opposite field here. The Braves expect him to hit the ball to the opposite field. They're swung around to right, but able to dunk it in just in front of Jermaine Dye.
Talking about Clayton taking over full-time in 1997, this could conceivably be, if the Cardinals can't come back, the final big league game in the wonderful 19-year career of Ozzie Smith. Hit and run is on. Down by 6. The Cardinals are running. That's strike 1 on McGee.
Well, that's what the Cardinals would do if the score were tied or if they were ahead by a couple of runs, to try to manufacture more. And even though they trail by 6, Tony La Russa putting the running game in effect the first time he has a chance to. This is the first base runner the Cardinals have had, and we're in the 4th inning.
Into right for Dye. 1 out.
Deja vu all over again, huh, Bob? The hit zone to Ron Gant. You remember there was 1 on and 1 out when he hit the home run against Tom Glavine in the 1st inning of Game 3. An inside hitter, Glavine running the count to 3-1, and Gant got a low fastball and took it out of Busch Stadium.
Six to nothing Atlanta. Gant trying to help the Cardinals jump back in. Strike 1. Career against Glavine during the regular season. Wow. 4 home runs when you add the 2 during the regular season, and now the 2 in this NLCS. 1 on, 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it figures that Gant would have good success against Glavine if anybody was going to. He likes the ball inside. Consequently, he stands very close to the plate. He's able to reach that outside pitch better than the rest of the Cardinal hitters. And if Glavine happens to make a mistake in that red zone, that's the ball that he drives to left field.
matter how close you stand to the plate, you're not going to hit that pitch. That ball had some nasty downward action. You're right, Bob. I think Gant, more than any of the other Cardinal hitters, takes that outside away from Glavine.
1-2 to Gant. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Saw Javi Lopez with a wiggle of the 4 fingers there, indicating a changeup. Glavine threw it well wide of the strike zone. Not really too much tricky with nobody at second base. Pretty much just your basic 1, 2, 3 and a wiggle. Fastball, curveball, slider, change. Another changeup.
Hard hit into left, but Andrew Jones is there. Sounded like Gant may have broken his bat. 2 out.
Well, if you don't break your bat, you at least hit it off the end of the bat. Ron Gant checking right here. You could say Glavine not coming in to Gant.
A high breaking ball right there. The Gant swung through, missed down low. Got a swinging strike down low. That was the changeup well wide. And then the changeup over the heart of the plate. The Gant hit off the end of the bat.
Gant the second out here in the 4th inning as Glavine tries to get around the first hit he is allowed. A leadoff hit by Clayton. Here is Jordan. Clayton running. Lopez's throw perfect. Inning over. The Braves are doing everything right so far in Game 7. Bottom of the 4th inning. Atlanta out in front by 6. First pitch, bottom of the 4th inning, is low for a ball. 6-0 Atlanta. They send in Grissom. His 3rd at bat of the night. 1 out of 2 in the 1st inning. Right at Gaetti. Funny hop. 1 out.
Well, you're going to see the stolen base attempt by Royce Clayton here. Watch Rafael Belliard get out in front of the base and block second base almost like a catcher would at home plate and really give Royce Clayton nowhere to go. Catchers love to see this. But the leg and the glove in front of the bag. Clayton can't even get his hand in there.
So Glavine has faced the minimum through 4. Andy Bennis has been outstanding since entering back in the 1st. Donovan Osborne, the Cardinal starter, should go only 2/3 of an inning.
Tell you, when you're trailing by 6 runs, you're forced into a passive game, a 1 base at a time game. I think Clayton's steal attempt would have been proper with Pagnozzi or Gallego up, but not Brian Jordan. I think you got to give Brian Jordan a chance to pop a 2-run home run. Well, the Cardinals can utilize what power they have.
Tony La Russa telling us the first 4 hitters in his lineup are basically on their own.
Yeah.
So Clayton may have been running on his own, and his out was the final out in the top of this 4th inning. 3-1 now on Lemke. Chipper Jones on deck. We'll see him now. First walk for Bennis. Second walk handed to Atlanta so far. Chipper Jones had a hit his last time up. Rounded out in that long 6-run, 5-hit first inning. One on, one out. And a 2-0 count on Jones. to Lemke, and the 2-0 to Chipper Jones. It's 3-0.
Bennis is not giving in to Chipper Jones here. A 2-0 changeup right there. Showing the respect that he has for Chipper Jones. Unfortunately, he missed the strike zone and now finds himself in a deeper hole.
Chipper Jones may be hitting here.
Back-to-back walks. And now with 2 on, 1 out, here's Fred McGriff.
You could read Andy Bennis's lips. He's asking Tom Pagnozzi, is that ball down? Is that ball down? Paul Runge may be liberal off the plate, but he does make a pitcher get the ball up.
Here comes McGriff. Game 5 on Monday night in St. Louis. McGriff had by far his best game with regard to swings taken. He had an RBI single and a 2-run homer. He gets his first hit of the night into right. Here comes Lemke. He'll score. Over to third is Jones. Safe. It gets away. Chipper Jones will score, and it's 8-0 Atlanta.
When you're pulling away from a stop sign, you have to determine the speed of the car. When you're a pitcher with runners on at first and second, you have to determine the speed of the hit to see which base to back up. Andy Bennis backs up home when he should have been backing up third. No play on Lemke. The throw by Gaiani and Jones score. Andy Bennis, meanwhile, was behind home plate and not behind third.
Lopez, deep center. 10-0 Atlanta.
Bobby Cox will tell you that Javi Lopez is the strongest hitter on this Braves team as far as pure power, and he shows it here going to the deepest part of Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium.
Now Jermaine Dye looks at a strike. Javier Lopez is now 1 hit away from tying an LCS record of 13 hits. 1-1 on Dye. Into right for McGee. 2 out. Gene Michael scouting here for New York. Talked to Bobby Cox, he'll tell you he has not looked at the reports for the Yankees yet. Said if they go to the World Series, and it looks like they will more and more as we go, he will have a busy day tomorrow reading all the scouting reports, trying to figure out a way to beat New York. It's 10-0 here in the 4th inning in Game 7. And Andrew Jones looks at ball 1. And it appears more and more likely this is the final big league game for certain Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith. He will hang it up at the end of the night. Go into the Hall in 2002. To the left side for Clayton. Base hit.
When a guy can run like Andrew Jones and Royce Clayton takes that much time to come up with a ball, you're not going to get him.
You know, they rule this an error, at least initially, but I don't think a good throw gets him. At least it would have been close with the way Andrew Jones gets down the line.
Well, it was a mighty slow transfer that Royce Clayton made, and I don't think a good throw gets him either. And that's because he took so long getting the ball from the glove to his hand and then looking at the ball. Watch.
Jones going down the line, showing that great speed. But once again, Clayton goes to his forehand on a ball that would have been much easier fielded with the backhand, allowing him to get into position to throw much quicker.
So they will keep it an error, E6. But the error did not come in the throw. Evidently, according to the official score, it came in the approach by Royce Clayton.
He was a little deliberate in gathering himself to make the throw there. Backhand play would have been much quicker.
1 on, 2 out. Belliard to the right side. Gallego ends the inning. A 4-run inning for Atlanta. Blowing it wide open here in Game 7 after 4. They lead by 10. We are into the 5th inning, Game 7. 10-0 Atlanta. Could very easily be 10 runs on 10 hits. Instead, a play ruled an error. Jordan trying to bunt his way on to try to get something started for St. Louis here in the 5th.
Well, normally you wouldn't like to see Brian Jordan bunting, but Chipper Jones is playing well back and well off the line at third base and leading off an inning. When you need 10 runs to tie the game, you just need as many base runners as you can get. And invariably, when you make up your mind you're going to bunt for a base hit, Glavine will throw a pitch right down the middle of the plate that would have been a good one to swing at.
Into left center field, not that well hit. Grissom, 1 out. And Glavine has still faced the minimum. Folks, Saturday, the World Series on Fox begins as the most storied team in baseball history returns to the Fall Classic after a 15-year absence to battle the winner of this game. The World Series begins Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, exclusively here on Fox. Here's Gaetti. 7 out of 22 in this series, 0 for 1 tonight. Ball 1 from Glavine. Gaetti has 7 postseason RBIs this year. 4 of them on a grand slam. The other 3 on a 3-run home run in Game 1 of the division series. Belliard takes care of Gaetti.
I got on the wrong subway today.
Thought he was in the Bronx, right?
But he will not be as welcome next week.
No.
Two out here in the 5th inning, and the batter is Dimitri Young. Struck out his first time. Well hit into left field, but right at Andrew Jones. It's been that kind of night for St. Louis. Glavine has faced the minimum through 5. Braves by 10.